chào các bạn, đây là quê hương của chúng tôi, đây là tương lai của chúng tôi.
Virtual Shock 001. I don't think they ever made anything else other than that. It's just called Virtual Shock 001.
Okay, here's your camera. And it's already loaded.
It's a crappy Polaroid.
Let's see. Maybe backstage. And when the concert gets started, I'll see you in the press room. The elevator is over there, and the green room is to go to the meeting. So you take it easy, and I'll see you later.
Main office. Keep in mind, this is a Japanese-only game. Did not come out, to my knowledge, in any other region. So imagine being a Japanese kid, you don't know English, and you're like, what the hell is this? Yeah, it's the thing, it's like, he gives you like a Polaroid. You're a professional photographer. He gives you a Polaroid camera. If anyone's taking Polaroids and I'm paying them as a photographer, they're not getting paid. It's like, no, you go get a real camera and come back. All right. Yeah, you should time travel to 1997 or 1994. Okay. Trying to read it, it's really hard. Rehearsal. I know it's rehearsal is the first word. Rehearsal something kanji, I don't know. Each member. There is a lot of kanji on there. Starting time. So yeah, I can barely like make this out. Like, what the heck is this? Like, oh geez, this is a little harder for me. I know the bottom's like after, or let's see, live show. Meet and break room. Okay. So after the live show, meet in the break room. Yeah, I can't read most of that either. Okay. Let's walk down the hallway. Thrilling gameplay. What type of craft services do they have? Wow, nothing but the best, finest coat hangers. I can see why X Japan was a huge hit in Japan. Okay, so you have to hit back to back out of the room. That's amazing. So basically you're supposed to, like, the aim of this game is to take pictures of the band. What, like, where they're supposed to be, the different areas. Let's talk to this American guy.
Good morning, sir. Can I see your pass, please? Ah, that's a backstage pass, I'm afraid. You'll need an all-area pass to come in here.
Give that man the Oscar. I don't care if we don't give, like, video games officers. Track him down. Give him an Oscar. I demand it. Hey, King Relic. Yeah, so I'm playing like really weird Japanese games, or kind of weirdish games you probably have never heard of. And this is a game called X Japan Virtual Shock 001. X Japan is like a huge rock band in Japan, and this is actually their songs, their set list. Ooh, Blue Blood, Endless. Great song. So yeah, so they're pretty much playing their Blue Blood album mostly. So what you're supposed to be doing is walking around getting pictures of everything because you're a professional photographer and your camera is a Polaroid camera. So you got to wander around the concert hall getting all the pictures you need, and then later on... No! What are you doing here? You're supposed to take pictures of the band and, you know, the different requirements for it and walk around, and then there's the performance at the end of the different videos. So, yeah, I haven't really gotten too far. Saturn Memories, on the other hand, he has actually gotten pretty far in this game. He actually did a full walkthrough of it. Yeah, so that's the funny thing. It's like, you're a professional photographer. So, I mean, if I hire a professional photographer and he or she shows up with a Polaroid camera, one, I'm going to be impressed because they don't make those anymore, and two, I'm not going to pay them until they go back with a real camera. So all we have is just the start button. Yeah, watch what he hands you.
Okay, here's your camera.
That's a Polaroid.
And it's already loaded. Let's see. Maybe backstage. And when the concert gets started, I'll see you in the press room. The elevator is over there, and the green room is to go to the meeting. So you take it easy, and I'll see you later.
So I'm wondering, can I turn around and walk out of the building?
No. You can't come in here. No.
Dude, that's the exit. What are you talking about?
No. You can't come in here. No.
It's like, no, you gotta keep playing this game. You can look at the white wall. Okay, there we go. We can turn around. Okay, so last time that was like instant death. A camera lens. You get! Dude, I play crappy games. I wouldn't play this for all eternity. Okay, can't walk that way. So that's the set list. Mega Drive CD. You probably easily could have put this type of quality game on it. It'd just be lower resolution. Can I steal some food from the craft? Oh, I walked right by. I was like, steal food from the craft table. Look at that laptop. That probably cost $4,000 or $5,000. I don't know how to take pictures. I'd have to burn a copy of D. I actually don't own that for the Saturn. I have it for the 3DO, though. Alright, so enough of X-Japan. We've seen enough of that. I was hoping T. Wallace would be here, but he's not, so he's gonna miss out. D would have a great time at Japan X. They are amazing. There's actually a documentary called We Are X that came out about 5 years ago. Definitely watch that. It's actually almost all entirely in English because the band members actually speak English. And it's really fascinating. It's kind of funny because at one point they did break up. And they asked them, they're like, so why did you guys break up? Were you not getting along? And the guy's like, no. Our vocalist was brainwashed by a cult and quit the group. And that's exactly what happened. Their lead singer was brainwashed by a cult thanks to his wife. and was told that the band was evil and he had to repent and quit and give up being in the band. So X Japan broke up for a while. Eventually, he got out of the cult and they reformed. He realized something was weird when the cult leader came to him and said, "Hey, go back, reform the band, and give us all the money you make from it." Yep, Iron Chef. This game is presented to you by Nissan. Yes, the car manufacturer. So, yeah, the 90s were an interesting time because they would make games out of all sorts of weird stuff. Like a cooking show. You sir. What do you have to say for yourself? They probably did. Well, Datsun is a Korean company. I don't think they did. I don't think they bought them out. Okay, so basically it's like this game, so to speak, is just like a virtual tour. It just tells you basically about the studio, like all the different things that were going on with it. So this was like aired on February 20th, 1994. I can make out bream. I know that's a fish. I think that's a movie.
Yeah, 残念や。まさきが負けるとは思わなかった。さすが鉄人も素晴らしい。だけど谷口、まさき心配すんな。わてが出て倒すから。
This stream is going to get copyright hit so hard when I upload it to YouTube. Shin Kenichi. Bream. I was right. A Japanese version of the show was so dramatic. The English translation was actually really good.
鉄人の方が薄作りしてます。あ、そうですね。こちらの方が刺身系ですね。ほうほうほうほう。トントントン。おお、縁側のとこですよこれ。縁側のとこですね。大胆になんか切りましたね。この部分何かな、吸い物にするんかな。でこちらはと3本同時切り。あの中に、そのヒラメを入れてね。はい。これ芝蒸しみたいのやるんじゃないかな。
This is pretty much all the game is, really. You can walk around the studio and just see clips of other battles and episodes.
あ、これを蒸すんでしょうかね。はい。揚げ始めましたね。
縁側ですね、縁側。
縁側の煮物ですか。
いやー、これうまそうですね、また。
ごぼうが入りましてね。
ほら、油かけたでしょ、ほら。
はい。そして、鉄印の方は
今油かけた。
油をかけました。
ざっとね、
はい。
先ほどのおかゆをかけると思います。
これにおかゆをかける。
濃さといい、まろやかさといい、いや美味しいです。もう本当に贅沢ですね、これは。
I always love the commentators for the Japanese version of Iron Chef, because when they'd like make comments about stuff, like basically like her first comment was like, "When I taste this dish, it feels like I'm soaring through the blue skies." It's ridiculous. It's like almost all their comments are weird allegories. He actually won. It's always weird things like that, especially like, what was it? I went to see Saga of Tanya the Evil, the movie that came out not too long ago. It was like one night in American audiences, American theaters. It acted as the second season of the show, which is really good. You should watch, by the way. But they're like, stay tuned for a message from the creator and, you know, the animators, the directors. So everyone's thinking, okay, good, this is going to be like an announcement for like season 3 of the show or something. And no, and like the director, like the original creator of the light novels, the manga, is like, I like to think of this production as like a ramen, where everyone is swimming around around the broth. I am the chef, which is like the director, and then you, the fans, are like the noodles, swimming lovingly in the broth to be consumed by delicious serves. I hope you enjoy it. It's like, what the hell does that mean? This is basically like hearing their reactions, I'm gonna bet, for that episode. More talking about flying through the skies, blue skies. Is it just playing the entire clip again? Yeah, it is. Okay, no, we're not gonna do that. Okay, so we should be exiting back to Kitchen Stadium. Turn with L and R. There is no exit. You are trapped here for all eternity. Very Twilight Zone-ish. And people say that 3D was terrible on the Saturn. I don't think they ever saw these stunning graphics. I mean, you can clearly tell that's something next to more something. Yeah. Can't walk up the stairs? Okay, there we go. I can plod up them one at a time. Let's learn more about the chairman. Gotta line it up just right. There we go.
Shogun, 我がキッチンスタジアムを堪能してくれているだろう。ここでは私が衣装にどれだけ気を使っているかをお分かりいただけたことと思う。だが、キッチンスタジアムはまだまだ奥が深い。長いは無用。
Basically, you know, the chairman's presided over like 90 battles. Ignore the fact I had a facelift in season 3. That last part may not be what was actually said or shown on the bottom of the screen. Yes. Actually, that was in the intro, Morg. Also, what's up? Good to see you. Sure, you have a delectable mustache, but we're gonna ignore you. We're gonna climb higher. We're gonna learn about the Iron Chefs. the much forgotten original. I think he was originally the Japanese chef on the show. I want to think. I'm trying to remember back which one he was, because he was like first season or something like that, and you like never saw him again. Yes, he knew way too much. Green Adus store. These are directions. I'm not sure maybe where the studio's located. Yeah, so it's an address of where the studio's located. Yeah, Bayonetta has its days, King Relic. Yeah, so this is just like, I think this is a direction to this chef's like restaurant. Yeah, but King Rock, you're just gonna have days where runs are gonna go really well, and then other days it's just gonna be pure garbage. And I mean, that's kind of like what happened about 2 days ago. Like, I had terrible runs, Cap had terrible runs. Shinobu. Ishinabe? God. I have like very rudimentary basic Japanese skills.
Kui-san、はい、どうぞ。はい、鉄人側のこの絞り袋なんですけれども、石鍋自身は、布の絞り袋が欲しかったらしいんですが、このキッチンスタジアムには紙の絞り袋しかなくてですね、もうそれ布でなくては嫌だということだったんで、ビニール袋で代用したそうです。そうですか。はい。あ、なるほど。
クリーム状のもんですとね、紙でいいんですけどね、布かなんかでできてないから、これだけね、粘りがあるからダメなんです。そうですか。でもこれで事足りてるわけですからね。さすが鉄人ですね。
家庭でこれは真似できますね。
春巻きの皮だね、これ。ほら、そうですか。これから焼くんですよね。
イメージわかりました。
わかりました。
で、パリパリと葉巻状のなんかこ
う、まあタバコぐらいの太さですけどね。
ちょっとクッキーのようなものですか。
そんな雰囲気ですね。いろいろ考えますね。
いやいや、これはすごいですね。クリスマスの夜に笑うのはどちらか。こちらはチョコレートのひさめが降っております。
I'm guessing it's a French chef. It looks like Pirulets or Pirulines. Yeah, he probably, it looks like he's probably the French chef. I mean, this guy was like season 1, and like, I don't know, like either he decided not to continue to be on the show, they got rid of him, or what. Yeah, the dubbed announcers were great. Fuku-san? Yes, well, go ahead. He's like, thank you. You know, the Iron Chef wanted to let me know that I was bugging him too much and he's trying to cook and to leave him the hell alone. Thanks, Fukui-san. Okay, so he was Japanese, I know. Original Japanese guy. He was Chinese food. Because I liked him because that's why I learned how to cook. Yes, this is basically just directions to where their existing restaurants are. Which is kind of neat to put it. I mean, I don't know if that is still accurate. I'm not going to be calling the number and trying to find out if they are still open. In a game that's like... Let's see, when did this come out? Take a look at the case. 1996, so 23 years ago. I don't know if that restaurant's still operating in that location or if it's still open. Born from a volcano. Raised in hot kitchens.
こちらは鉄人がこれは包丁の、背の方でこう叩いてますね。
そうですよ。これみじん切りってやつでね、もって言うんですよ。もうしてると。これ本当に正月も終わりかけるとね、硬くなったやつをこうやって切ってあげますよね。
なんか陳さんがこう切ると絵になりますね。なんか七福神が切ってるような感じがありましたね。いやいやいや。おっと得意の笑みが漏れてまいりました。
Trying to cut Parmesan for some reason. Which is a very hard cheese, by the way.
おっと大きな火が立ち上がりました。まもなくこの芝居がこの1時間で見事に染まっていくわけでありますが、おっと大きな炎が上がった。さあそしておっと鉄人の大皿に、なるほど、
はい、チーマークができましたね。
これで2色の作品が、
結局ね、これは宇宙とかね、無限とかね、そういうものを表す
壮大なものなんですね。
壮大な意味があるんですよ。
おっと
すごい。
今のはスローはありますか？これが深切れですね。
深切れ。うまそうだなこれ。
おっとやりましょ
う。いいよっと。
うわ、これは度胸がいりますよ。家庭でや
Well,
る。
basically, that sounds like the American version, Morg. Get Rachel Ray on there. Everyone starts sweating. He didn't put enough mayonnaise and EVOO in this dish. It's an ice cream. She's like, so? Yeah, but I said like the Japanese versions of everybody were just like, I remember he was like, I think he was French. Sakiyuki, I think was the guy's name. But, yeah, the Japanese commenters were just very Japanese is the only way to put it, which is like, no duh, it's a Japanese show, but it's just like, it was ridiculous. I feel this like the taste that's bubbling in my mouth. It's like saying, hello, spring, and then everything is right in the world, and my grandmother loves me and didn't touch me in her basement. Like, okay, great, you? Food critic? I thought it was terrible. What, nobody's been down to Grandma's Bad Touch basement? Really? Don't tell me I'm the only one. Okay, that takes skill. That is insane. Being able to peel an apple with a butcher's knife like that.
あれですね。
これ1ミリぐらいはありますよね、幅。
So he's cutting all the way down the skin and stopping. This guy was crazy as hell.
これはどんな作品が出来上がるんでありましょうか。この辺り
スパルガス。
フォアグラが今乗せられました。
あ、フォアグラも。
はい。
ほうフォアグラもスモークしますか。あ、なるほど。
フォアグラ。
これでもうお出ししようというのでしょうね。こうなるんですね。やっぱり見事です。
かけたっていうかこうね添えたんですね。
さあ得意の盛り付けですが絵を描き始めました鉄人であります。
ドラクロワだね。
どうやら鉄人は殻付きのウニばかり序盤はこだわっているようですがね。鉄人の方もこれはいつの間にこんなものが出来上がってましたか。
お庭みたいですね。こうミニガーデンみたいな感じですね。
少し立体的に
That is dedication, Morg.
あ、そうかそうか2色を使うんだ。そうですね。挑戦者鉄人どのような心理でやっと。
やってますね。網ができましたね、網が。
Yeah, it's like my dad talking about like him walking to school. I think this is their records. I had to walk through the woods. It's all paved now. It's the wood, and it was uphill, and it'd be snowy, and we'd be walking on blades of, shards of glass the entire time. Yeah, so this looks like the win-loss record, I'm guessing. And unfortunately, the Japanese in this game is, like, very kanji heavy. So, yeah, so I know... Yeah, so Sakai is the winner here for this, and then be the challenger for what it is. So he had a pretty good win record. And he lost like 1, 2, 3, 4... 4 matches total out of everything. The guy was a beast. Alright, one last profile to watch and then we'll get out of this game. Pretty much. I mean, they said the term games were kind of loose. It's kind of like what I wanted to focus on today. It's just some weird things that a lot of people haven't seen. So this is like, just basically showing you clips from the show. It's all this game, quote-unquote game is. There's nothing else to it. There's no mini-game that you have to, like, you know, prepare things. I think there's a quiz component to it. I think I saw it down at the bottom. But that's it, really. It's like, you know, like, who won such and such battle, or how many times did so-and-so win? That's actually a really good way to make, like, ground beef, where to mince everything up super fine, but it just dulls the hell out of your blades.
今日のテーマはアンコウであります。鉄人が吊るし切りに入りました。吊るし切りに入りました。まず皮を剥ぐんですね、これ。ただし先ほどのリポートにありましたが、吊るし切りはかなり昔にやったかやらないかという感じで、あまり今の最近はやったことがないというところなんですが、そのあたりはどうでありましょうか。8分前まであの魚だったのに、見事になんかもうバラバラになっちゃいましたね。何だったんだろうかという感じになってきましたね。氷の柱を作ろうとしてますね。なるほど。
He's packing the plate full of crystal meth in order to entice the judges.
憎いね考えるのは。強いですさあ10分前の声かった。ちょっと実況席も唖然とするような。
It's actually a fish tartare.
サイドに見られます。
福井さん、はい、鉄人側のこのピーマンの上のものなんですが、叩いた後に
You cook it first.
玉ねぎのみじん切り、サラダ油、これをすべて混ぜ合わせたものを乗っけているらしいです。
梅ですよ、梅。やっぱり梅ですね。これがまた。
So apparently that's what happened to the peppers that, like, the chairman bites in the beginning. They just cut off the other half and use it in that dish. True story. Totally, definitely not making that up. You can trust me. I mean, you really should trust me anyway, though. I mean, you know, alright, so let's see if I can find, I think I might be able to take the shortcut. I think it's C? Maybe it's B. So I think there's a quiz. I think that's pretty much it to this game. It's just looking at clips and interviews, and that's it. Presented by Nissan! Written in that English language, so that way you Japanese people have no idea what it is you're looking at. Okay. Yeah, so this is a quiz. So I think it's like, if memory serves... Yeah, I can't make like any of this out. We'll say C. Always go with C. Oh! Yeah, you would think so, but this, I mean, these are just... Let's say B then. Oh, dang it. So yeah, it's a quiz. And I don't know if you unlock anything special if you get it or not. We'll restart. We'll give you the intro again, Morg, since you came in there, because you want to see that wonderful, delicious pepper biting. Brought to you by Hamlet. Please don't stab me behind the curtain. I like that it tells you that this is presented to you by Nissan, drowned out by like flames in the background, like you're roaring flames, you can barely hear it. So yeah, that's the entire game. Woo! Alright. So, more weird games that you probably haven't seen before. So we got X Japan Virtual Shock, Iron Chef Stadium Tour, JB Herald. It's an investigation game. I can't remember how it's. I think the beginning part's in English because it takes place in Chicago. Yeah, JB Herald Blues, Blue Chicago Blues. It's the name of the game. Let's give it a shot. Jeez, 200 hours? Were you like maxing out everything? Or you just play very, very slowly? Okay, well that makes sense. I'm trying to think, I was like, how in the world do you dump that many hours into an RPG that's not called Fallout? Okay, so let's see what I'm looking at here. That's data in the middle. Beginning. Yeah, I quit Skyrim after 80. Because I'm like, okay, this is going to destroy my life again. Because Fallout 3, I put 300 hours on the 360 and about another 200 on PC. So I hit 80 in Skyrim. I'm like, okay, I need to stop or I'm going to waste another like 400 hours on these games. The planetarium. I have a bone defect where I can't say the T in planetarium. So she was stabbed outside? Really? Girl in red dress. Found dead at the planetarium. Liberty Town. Oh, he's got a bottle of wild turkey. Is it bad that I know it's a bottle of wild turkey? Like $5 whiskey? Mostly made of gasoline?
JB 出かけてるの？今シカゴよ。明日帰ったらすべて話すわ。JB 愛してる。
Aww. JB, can you come? I need you. JB, I love you. Oh, I think she's gonna be dead now. She loves the man. Yep, 38. 38, that sounds like a gun effect from Doom? We don't know what a 38 sounds like. This is Japan, so we're just gonna copy the Doom sound effect and plant the gun in her hand that shot herself. Yeah, female detective shoots herself? That's one hell of a suicide if you can shoot yourself in the back from like 10 feet away. That is amazing. The use of wild turkey is cleaning stab wounds, degreasing an engine. You really shouldn't be drinking it. I mean, if you're a human being and value your life, you really shouldn't drink wild turkey. I mean, I drink crap stuff. I mean, right now I'm drinking Evan Williams honey. It's like cheap stuff, but I love it. It's got some great flavor to it, to be honest. You don't need to have expensive whiskeys to have some good, like a drink. But wild turkey is just garbage. No, I don't think that happened to the Pizzagate reporter. Pardon me. Yes, I am Bob Vila. Sometimes I am mistaken for Al Borland of Tool Time, yes.
それはわからない。こっちが教えてもらいたいくらいだ。ホワイト刑事が犯人なんですか？シカゴ市警はこの事件に関してまだ何の見解も出してない。捜査はこれからだ。もういいだろう。じゃあな。
I don't know, lots of people are killed like that. Like, as I was telling my friend the other day, technically my ex, who I haven't spoken to in a while, we were chatting the other day, having a fun little conversation. It actually was fun. And talking about how one girl was like blatantly murdered and it was ruled a suicide, and my dad, it reminds me of a story. My dad was an EMT back in the 70s, and there's 2 calls he told me about he went to. One, the person was chopped up into many pieces into 2 separate and sealed hefty bags in a dumpster. 2, body was in a car fire that they put out, and found the corpse was handcuffed behind his, hands behind the seat. He was in the driver's seat, hands handcuffed behind him, throat slit, which you could still tell in the burned out corpse. And both of those were ruled suicides. Definitely not saying that the mob is a big figure here in Erie, Pennsylvania, because they are. Definitely saying they're not involved at all, but I also love how this is a Japanese game, and once again you have credits in English. I like smooth jazz too. You know, credits you don't understand in a language. The Star Trek video game. So if you guys want to see a game that I have, that's a Japanese one. And translation, and the second link is the English version of this game.
捜査は俺たちだけで。週に30件も事件があるとこだ。余分な人ではない。いや、どんな厄介な事件でもな。ところで、 こいつに見覚えがあるだろあんた。
I just keep evidence as a 38 murder weapon in my drawer. Hope you don't mind. We keep it right next to my tuna sandwich. It's been there for a couple days.
被害者の体から出てきた弾だ。
弾痕は一致したか？
ぴったり一致したよ。あんたには悪いが、この事件は証拠が揃いすぎてるな。血のついたナイフ、コカイン、そして指紋のついた拳銃。
他には？
Well, at least the murderer was nice enough to leave the murder weapons at the scene. This is that poor lady who shot herself in the back from 10 feet away. Stabbed herself in the back, too.
話ができすぎてる。だからおかしい。
なぜそう思う？
ただの勘だよ、勘。ところであんた、何しに来た？仲間の罪を暴き世間に知らせるためか？
Yeah, so basically it's like he's like, okay, we need you to be on the case. Figure it out. We're stumped. We're dumb. Here's a Marlboro ad in the middle of your video game.
Hotel はこの先だ。わかるだろ？
あ
あ。じゃあ明日8時に警察でな。
It's interesting, they gave him like a street tough, like, accent. You're like, oh, I'm really tough, you know, southern Tokyo gangster Yakuza style. So we got those like trilled R's in a lot of times too, basically trying to sound tough, which is mostly dialect. You ever learned, like, if you're ever studying Japanese, that there are a lot of dialects. So he's inviting you, basically, you can go out to drinks, or you can not go out to drinks. Let's go get drunk. If I'm... Repeat? Uh-oh. Okay, maybe I didn't translate that correctly, which is very, very likely. How am I making the wrong decisions? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Enough of that. I swear the first time that didn't happen, I played through the game, like, I ended up talking to some Japanese businessman. Even I was surprised, like, okay. Let's see, what do you know about the murderer of the lady with the knife? I know nothing. Okay. How about this? I still don't know anything, sorry, I couldn't help you. Now, the last oddity I have to go through is of a singer, and this is one of the few games that's actually enhanced if you have the MPEG cart, because in the back of the Sega Saturn there was the battery you could put in. Basically it would like keep the time saved, also that managed all your saves as well. So if that battery died, it was like 25 flat quarter size battery. So if that died, it wiped out all your saves, hidden like save to the system itself. But right above it was an expansion slot, and if you plugged in a MPEG and decoder card, you could actually get better quality out of certain games. And this is one of those games. I do not have that card, unfortunately. Last I looked, they were selling for about $100. They're probably a lot more than that now. This is Chisato Moritaka, which was like 2 albums, like basically 2 songs. I think it was 2 albums together. I know that one of them is Lala Sunshine. I think the other one was Watarasebashi. Basically a Japanese singer. This is another one of those quote-unquote games. Opens with the lovely recorded music. Oh god, it loops forever! Okay. It's a picture of an empty theater. Nice. And interviews, okay. Because I remember there being like music videos. Very blurry music videos. Video clip. Well, it's different for sure, but it's not jarringly different, I don't think. It was more of a refinement. I actually liked X2 a lot. X1 is still, in my opinion, the best. 3 was kind of a departure. X4 I did not like at all. Let's turn this up. Yeah, so that's pretty much mostly what this game is again. So Sega Saturn had some really weird quote-unquote games. What I remember about this singer is she like a multi-instrument person, so she knew how to play multiple instruments at the same time. And also married a famous actor. That's pretty much it. X3, I will say, existed. X4, I am not a fan of. But surprisingly, most people are like X5 and 6 are like total garbage games, and I would totally really back that up, especially X6, and then onward just stopped. So for me, the X series stopped after X3. Oh, wait a second. You're not talking about Mega Man X. No, I was thinking Mega Man X as an X2, X3, but you're talking about Final Fantasy. But yes, Final Fantasy X-2, now that I'm thinking on the same level you are, is very different, yes. Yeah, I didn't like it at all. I tried playing it, I'm just like, this is just too weird of a game. You go from having Yuna be this like solemn character, losing the love of her life, learning that she actually is going to live and have a future now because of the sacrifices of others on her behalf. Oh, now I'm Lara Croft. Now I'm a pop singer. And I was like, what the hell is with this game? So as you can see, the Okay, didn't mash the buttons hard enough. Good lord. Yeah, so I can't do that. Restart. Kind of.
Media entertainment.
It's amazing, like it's kind of weird having played the 3DO version, being more familiar with that than the Sega Saturn version. It's like they made the game a lot easier for the 3DO. Okay, hopefully we can skip the seizure scene. Yes, okay, perfect. Now the colors are like super washed out. Yeah, so it gives you a countdown. I can't do this because of the button mashing, but in the 3DO they made the button mashing a lot easier. I mean, it was like hit the button like 3 or 4 times and you made it.
Media
and this one, you got a button mash like crazy, and if you it says like you don't know not far enough along, even if you got like 4 timers left, like 4 seconds, it just cuts you off, which is crazy. Yeah, so this is actually, the Saturn version is actually a lot harder. Now this is just pretty much a sword fight, I remember. I don't think there's any button mashing required for this one. Oh, interesting. Okay, so 3DO you could fight anybody you wanted, but this version it's actually limited to the first 3. Oh no, you're back to it again. Yeah, so Strahl's a no-go. I mean, I really can't keep up with that, so... Oh well. But yeah, like I said, the 3DO version's a lot easier, but this version is just destroying me. Okay. So, you're glitch hunting, but are you successful so far? That's the big thing, because I mean, it's a big, long game. This, by the way, was never officially released for the Sega Saturn. And so there's going to be some weird graphical stuff on the bottom of the screen.
Let's kick some butt.
Welcome to Undercover.
You gotta be tough to be on this team, partner.
Welcome to Delta Force.
Now, I have this on the 3DO, but apparently at some time in development they were making a Sega Saturn port of this, and I don't know why it never came out. But thanks to the pseudo Saturn that I have, I can play burned copies of games. So I was able to download this and burn it to disk and give it a shot. Now, I don't know if it works with the Stunner or not, because I don't have the ability to plug this into my CRT television right now, because I can't lift it and remove a television with my back the way it is. But I'm betting it might be, because there is Calibrate, but I mean, this is like an early beta, so we'll see. Test it some other time.
Shoot to choose a location.
1057, armed robbery at that location. 10-4, let's kick some butt.
I have to say, the video is pretty good for the Saturn. But it's still like super quick. And they're giving it like, so the original game, you had like 6 bullets. And this one they're giving you like 9 bullets? Yeah, this is unreleased. Yeah, I didn't read it. I can feel... I was hitting the button and nothing was happening. So there are still some bugs. Running around a circuit city. Shooting random people. You, homeless lady! Pop out here. I have Sewer Patrol on Sega CD. Yeah, it's gonna be impossible. I guess this is why they gave you 9 bullets so you can spray like crazy. Yeah, good luck trying to hit this with a controller.
Too bad you're out. I was beginning to like it now.
Shoot to choose a location.
We're at the silence alarm. We're advised.
Be advised, backup is 5 miles away.
Let's kick butt. I'll take a look.
Yeah, I can tell you're not wearing a bulletproof vest. This might not be the best option for you. Why is he in blackface? Nope, it just skips. Skips the cutscene. Can't shoot her so far. I think you can in the first level. Let's try that again. You die! You're dumb enough to hang around in a gunfight. Alright, so let's see if we can shoot her, because I know it brings her... Oh, no, it will let me pick a level I've already beaten. Why did it pick here?
Too bad you're out. I was beginning to like it now.
Okay, so I think this might restart it. Yeah, so let's see if we can shoot her in the face. Here we go.
I think you could have been somebody.
Oh, I feel hurt. I am somebody, a murderous psychopath. So it doesn't, so it just skips you past that scene.
We're at the silence alarm. We're advised.
Forklift man! He tried to kill me with the forklift. Shoot you in the face.
I think you could have been somebody.
Shoot.
Oh
Hope nobody jumps out from behind that box. Pow, pow, pow. He died a horribly violent death. Ha ha ha. Right in the junk. He's down. I know I would not come back from that injury. Take that, security man. He had a gun. I saw him. You all saw he had a gun.
Too bad you're out. I was beginning to like it, pal.
So I don't care what game it is. If you jump in front of me, I am shooting you in the face. Virtual Cop, Crime Patrol, Mad Dog McCree, everyone's getting shot. Takes place in an orphanage. Well, they don't have parents anyway, so I think we're all fine. Why are you whispering? I have hearing damage from shooting guns very quickly. Okay, so I was thinking that because this is the prototype, it'd all be randomized, but apparently, or like set pattern. But apparently, you can wing him in the right shoulder by shooting over his left ear. I knew what I was doing.
Where is that backup? Too bad you're out. I was beginning to like it, pal.
Shoot.
Where is that backup?
They said they were 5 minutes out. You insisted on going in. Shoot you in the junk again.
Later, dude. Where is that backup?
Oh, come on, I nailed you. That's the problem with these type of games, it's like, you need to have slower response to them. This is our rookie, which is like the lowest difficulty level, so it should be giving you like bigger window. But it's like, if you don't have a light gun, it is very hard to do. What?
I was beginning to like it, pal.
I feel robbed. That's interesting. Look at the player one when I choose the difficulty level. It shifts.
Shoot to choose a location.
1057 on. Everybody freeze!
I'm betting this is like even less reaction time. Yeah. He didn't even register that I shot him. Shoot to kill and to thrill.
We're at the silence alarm. We're advised.
Be advised, backup is 5 miles away.
Let's kick butt. I'll take a left. You'll never make sergeant.
Well, I'm busy trying to shoot like racist blackface intruders, ma'am. You should be supporting me in this endeavor.
Too bad you're out. I was beginning to like it, pal.
Oh. Do you think she would have gone out with me? I mean, I'm just a rookie and all, but... You know, she seemed like she liked me. Yeah, Tass's game would be very boring. Explain that one to me.
We're at the fire's alarm. We're advised.
Yeah, I think that like only like recklessly diving into scenarios of gunfights is going to be helpful. I mean, you know, not if you're not shooting anybody, I don't think that she's going to be really into the relationship. I think he's dead.
Oh, this thing will fry you.
Take that. Later, dude.
Oh, this thing will fry you.
Bam! Take that.
You could have been somebody.
Yeah, but I didn't want to. I mean, you kept turning me down for dates. You don't murder enough people. You're not too reckless enough. I showed her. I showed them all. Pretty much, including herself. That's how you know. That's how she knows that I really love her. You know, giving her the flesh wound. Yeah, you can actually shoot her, but it doesn't like give any death animations. I actually got to play this in the arcade, and it didn't have any death animations for her either. It just instantly cut to the, wow, you're a terrible person. Yes, why don't you love me, cop woman? So, this game is getting re-released in remastered video. Because why not? The one and only. I don't think this game is really starring anybody, really. So far I haven't seen William Shatner, so I think we're safe. And apparently zombies die from stab wounds to the stomach with a machete.
Welcome to hell, sucker. Get your booty down here, you poor damn fool. Winston gonna cut you down, man. But we gotta jump quick now. Zombie come.
I probably should have kept that in my, like, you know, sheathed up while I tried to climb the palm tree, because that's just dangerous as heck to put it in your mouth and do that, but ignore me. Alright. That would be awesome. That and the game I'm drawing a blank on right now that Christopher Walken was in. That too. Alright, so let's see. Normal bullet fire, darken display. What is mission briefing? Read this blurry text. Good luck. Search and destroy hostiles. Fire at will. Locate and neutralize Dr. Elglin Hellman. Search for and rescue captured squad. Magliano, Fleming, Duffy, and Captain Cooper. List aid from local agents or locals against belligerents. Use data pod for strategic and reference info. The graveyard is your base. Protect it! Gather local inventory for defense. Get in there and kick some zombie butt! Okay. Yeah, I think that was the name. I couldn't remember what it was. I believe it is Ripper.
You dying, Lieutenant. Zombie bite got a poison in you. Winston Crown. Yeah, man. Hey, bro, I like your piece, man. Yeah. We gonna party some now, huh? I and I not so dumb, bro. Not too bad, man, not with that shooting iron, huh? Me tell you what. You help me get treasure here. I be your taxi. Keep you living, man. You wanna get big, a hammer cheap like what Arnold got in Hollywood, huh?
Yeah, so I'm supposed to rely on this guy if it's a taxi. Okay.
Fupa! Balana zombie fupa! Kenwa, welcome wagon. Light 'em up.
And then it suddenly turns into a side-scroller. With no gun effects. Okay. And flying zombies and ghost people. Yeah, so this is getting a remaster. It's like...
Good shooting, brah. Yeah, man. Lots of buzzard meat.
Said everyone knows a zombie lore. You just stab them in the stomach, they go down like anything.
PT.
Hi, Julie Barnes, journalist. Sure read my stuff. Syndicated. But when I break this story, I'll have a book, late night talk shows, TV, the works.
The only thing you gonna break, lady, is your neck.
Winston, I'm trying to talk to the lieutenant here. Has he been telling you about that crazy pirate story? It's pathetic. How about the voodoo witch doctor routine? Perhaps maybe you and I are a little bit later.
I'm not driving you, Miss Daisy, no place. In my bodyguard. This woman is evil business, brah. She got you snookered already.
So, Lieutenant, why did the Pentagon order its top search and destroy squad into this squalid little hellhole?
Him not just stoolie guy. Him just pulled the trigger.
I'll have you know this is the best place in New Jersey, man.
Turn it on.
Arriba, man.
What do you know about this?
We outside of New York. Yeah, we outside of Newark, New Jersey.
Backroom darling of the Pentagon and the White House. I figured they set him up
We
on
go
a
and do the
hush-hush
Italian
project on
restaurants.
KR, and you're the exterminator. I'm right, aren't I?
This be blowgun to take out sentries. They tough, man.
And little toddlers when they don't want to go to sleep, man.
Go everywhere.
Don't you know, don't be got it.
Our
Daddy.
They already dead.
Yeah, so it's really weird. I don't know why there's no sound effects for the gunfire. I said this is getting fully remastered like they did with Double Switch. 25th anniversary, so... let's head to the village.
Your notions of death are all backwards.
Oh God, who is this guy? I've seen him
You're the
before.
one decaying and dying. My soldiers have been charged with the elemental power of nature. It ripped them out of the ground and stood them up.
Pardon me.
Eternal death is inevitable. You can have it in a box or standing tall. Your choice.
I've seen that actor before, I just don't remember his name or what he's been in, but I've seen him around.
Fupa crazy man. Village got dead boys. Plenty tough. You're gonna get barbecue man bone there. Maybe juju stick too.
Yeah, definitely a next generation. So there's a lot of plaid zombies I'm noticing here. Some LA street gangs they had just hired off the street. Cholos.
Got fine juju stick for you, man.
Okay.
Greetings, Lieutenant. Perhaps you recognize these 4 pieces of human jerky over here.
Won't stop the lieutenant. Lieutenant's coming back for us. And he's coming back for you too, Helman, you stinking piece of crap.
Yeah, that's right. I said crap. What are you gonna do about it, huh? Oh, I got assaulted by stock sound effects.
Them swarming. You can smell them. Atomic beehole.
Got it. You okay?
He's okay, woman. I got the tour plan.
Yeah, that's where it is. Season 1. I'm surprised I actually know that's Season 1 because I like Next Generation, but I'm not a hardcore fan. I have no idea what breath is, so breath. We'll take that. But yeah, that's exactly where he was, because I remember he was in the episode. He was the holographic salesman there, like on the planet that everyone had been wiped out by the weapons they had been selling and making. I've seen him in other stuff too. But like I said, it's like I like Next Generation, but I'm not like a huge Star Trek fan. Like, oh my god, it's like episode 7, like season 1, episode 8. It was this person here, and like all these credit stuff is like, no, I'm not that type of fan, but I do like the show. Let's check out Fortress. Oh, not G.I. Joe. Anything about that.
Lieutenant.
But I've seen him in other stuff too.
The posse you're about to face is composed completely of electrocuted mass murderers. Where did they dig these guys up? In life, they showed no mercy. And now, they've really got nothing to lose.
Not my action figures.
Fortress, yes. Electro Posse's got very sick dudes, brah. Bad dudes, man. Bad dudes. Yeah, brah. There's the great Babylon Fortress now.
Fantastic.
Cover me, brah. I'm going in.
So Double Switch I can understand getting a remaster. This game, not so much, to be honest. And just occasionally you randomly get hurt too. It's like I don't understand why. I should warn everybody that this is not a copy that I own. And I only burned the first disc, so if we get to disc 2, we're gonna be SOL. Okay, that happened for some reason.
It's gonna be reunion place for you, man. But your soldier pal there gonna be zombified. Him gonna fight you fierce.
Do you really think his crazy voodoo potion bullets are gonna change him back?
Got to work doing it, gal.
Did you really this place?
Him one of the lucky ones. Get going.
We're in a tunnel, but suddenly it's a side-scroller. Okay. Sure. Why not?
I underestimated you, Lieutenant. I should have listened to your associate, Mr. Maliano.
No, I'm getting too tanned. My rest of the body will look really weird if it's not as tanned the same as the rest of my face. So I'm just like taking crazy damage and I can't stop these guys unless I have special bullets.
See ya, wimphead.
Okay. So yeah. How to rate this game? Well, if we're talking about FMV games, it's better than Night Trap, not as good as Double Switch. I'd rate it as the category. Very kind of crazy. I mean, you have to save like your special bullets for the end. Because apparently it only kills like the super zombified soldiers that they're throwing at you. Everybody else is just killed by the instant bullets. So yes, Eddie is the one with Double Switch. That was the one with the game with Corey Haim, Arlie Ermey, and Debbie Harry of Blondie. The one I love to play a lot, that everybody's like, really, that game? It's like, yeah, I love it to death. Who else would track down the Japanese version of that game just for no reason other than me, because I'm crazy enough to do it? See, Double Switch had good ideas, but just poorly executed. And Double Switch basically took the Night Trap formula and fixed it. They made it so you didn't have to have revolving like color key doors anymore. And you had notifications. You could see clearly where traps were in order to activate it. So for me, it's like it's the playable Night Trap, which is like Night Trap but fun. Because Night Trap is not really a fun game. I have it like for the 3DO. The big long box, which is kind of cool because they don't make those anymore. Or at least they didn't. Like, you know, for the 3DO, they eventually switched to even the jewel cases. Probably looks like PlayStation did, but Night Trap is not a fun game at all. I tried playing the 25th Anniversary Edition, and it's still just not fun to play. It's just not that great. There's just too many problems with that game. And in my opinion, Double Switch went through and fixed a lot of those problems that existed with the gameplay and so forth. Alright, so let's throw that out here. Let's play one last game. Let's have some fun here. Didn't get any requests, so that's fine. I will pick a game. Leave the door open, see if it goes that way. Alright. I stand up, look through my collection. I don't know. I want to try something out. I don't know if it's going to work. It's really weird is that I tried playing this earlier. This is a translation, so it doesn't work quite right. I don't know if it's going to work now. So earlier when I first tried playing this game, I was almost out of memory on my internal memory on the Saturn itself. And it would load up the game and it would play just fine. It just said you couldn't save your game because you didn't have enough room to do it. So I went through, cleared out some games I don't play anymore from the saved file from internal memory on the Saturn, and now it doesn't load anymore. So I'm wondering, like, after playing a couple different games, if it'll finally load. So we'll see. We'll see if it even starts up. This so far is a good sign, because earlier it wouldn't even give me this opening logo, so we'll see. So Grandia is a role-playing game that a lot of people are familiar with. It's actually coming out on the Switch, and I don't recommend you buy it because it looks like garbage. They put out like an HQ2X filter, I think it's called. It just blurs all together. But this game originally came out on the Sega Saturn, and then for whatever reason, they didn't port it to the United States version, but they made a ported copy to the PlayStation a year later and translated in English. There's a guy who's actually taking the English version, the English script of the game, and putting it into the original Sega Saturn original, because this is actually the best version of the game to play. There's less, the graphics are better on the Saturn, which is crazy to hear, especially in competition with the PlayStation. But just basically the Saturn was the overall better version, so he's taking the English translation from the Saturn version, trying to put it into, or the PlayStation version, put it into the Sega Saturn. We'll see if this works. I don't think it's going to. Yeah, he warned that basically the person who's doing the translation warned that like the first disc is all done, but playing it on actual systems can still have some problems. So like I mentioned earlier, like when my memory was all full on the Saturn itself, it basically gave me the Japanese screen saying, hey, you need at least 48 blocks of memory in order to save. You can continue playing, but halfway through the game, when you switch discs, you're going to be stuck. So it'd go through, it'd start playing, you have the Japanese voiceover with the English text, and it started working just fine, but as soon as they cleared out the memory, the game doesn't load. So I'm not sure what it is, but he said that there's still problems trying to get it to work on actual consoles. It is still technically like a beta that he's still working on, so I'm not going to bug him about it. It should still work in emulator, but that's cool though. But I still actually have the original Grandia game. So this is the actual Grandia disc. I actually burned my own copy in order to put the patch in, so... You can see it's now in Japanese. If I played Soul Blade, I actually own it for the PlayStation. And I also played it in the arcade, which is basically just the PlayStation. It was like System 22 game, I believe it was, which is the PlayStation with more RAM. So, Soul Blade and Soul Edge, I get confused. Because I think Soul Edge was the Japanese version, and the arcade I was in actually imported the Soul Edge machine. Then you have Soul Blade, which was like the American version of it. But yeah, this all played normally. It was kind of funny, because like, when it gave me the warning that I was out of memory, it skipped this FMV. And went right into the opening of the game, where you're talking to, basically you're hearing the bad guys. Did I know a revised task came out for the game? Nope, I did not. Fighting game tasks can be interesting, They can be really entertaining, or they can just be really kind of cookie cutter and boring. But the thing that really annoys me the most about watching a fighting game task, or just any task in general, is when the game is 4x3 and they format the video for 16:9, so everything is crushed and stretched out. That just bugs me to hell and back. This game is like very Castle in the Sky influences, Laputa. Hey, there was this ancient civilization. They were super technologically advanced and they could fly around in the skies, and oops, tragedy's gonna befall them and it's gonna be lost information to everybody. Is it up on taskvideos.org? Okay, cool. I will check it out later then. But yeah, like I said, like if I see a task that's like it's a 4x3 format game, and I know it is, and I just put it out there. It's not anything on task videos; they don't do that. But like just other people, like I think it was Dark Noob is one of the ones I've seen on YouTube. Does like fighting game stuff, and he just like crushes everything. I've asked him like why are you formatting things 16:9 when it's a 4x3 game? And he just never responds. It's like, I honestly want to know, why are you doing that? Yeah, so if you don't have enough memory space, it cuts to just right here. But then, like, the English, like, the audio is still Japanese, but it'd be an English translation, straight over from the PlayStation version.
どうやら少し眠ってしまったようだ。またあの夢を見たか。あやつめ。せかしおる。ミオレンよ、今どのあたりだ？
先ほどからまだ半時も経っておりませんよ。お疲れのようですな、バール将軍。
いつも言っておるだろう、ミオレン。周りに兵士がおらん時は父と呼ぶがいい。
お言葉ですが、ここにはまだリーン注意が控えております。
お前らしいな、その答え。だが、我が軍の計画に。
Alright, so yeah, that's Japanese Grandia. Like I said, I actually own the actual game itself. In order to make my own copy of the game. So when the English patch of this game was like for the Japanese version of the Saturn was announced, I was thinking, this game's gonna jump up higher in price. I better buy it real quick before that happens. And I was glad I did, because I bought that game for $5. Complete, with spine card. For like about $5 with shipping. And I even managed to get the extra content disc, too. I actually made like a separate one, like about all the history of it, making of the game, and so forth. Got that dirt cheap too, but now they're going up a lot higher in price. Alright, this will be the last game of the night. I know it's kind of a short stream, but do what we can, don't feel too great. Play what we can. Play a lot of weird stuff. A lot of quote-unquote games. But this one's actually a legit game. It's Symphony of the Night, Akumajou Dracula X. The version that everybody craps on, but I love it. Yep, Symphony of the Night. So let's see, 47 minutes hour. I don't know who Ricky is. So what made this version interesting is that, let's see, yeah, let's go straight eyes. is that you can pick right off the bat. You can either play as Alucard like you normally do, or you can play through as Richter or Maria. Which Maria I find is a lot more interesting. This version of the game, however, does have problems. If you're playing it on an emulator, it's not too bad. It does make for interesting tasks, as Easy Games did one not too long ago with Maria. Beat the entire game in like 6 minutes, I think. So Maria's very overpowered, good moveset. Got a triple jump. You already start scaling up higher. But you're going to notice something right away. The game slows down. Slowdown is very rampant in this game. It doesn't happen a whole lot of times with bigger enemies like that. When they explode, the game does chug. Another problem with this is that this was ported from the PlayStation. And the Saturn renders things differently than the PlayStation does. The PlayStation rendered everything in triangles. The Saturn rendered everything in squares. By that difference, the Saturn actually had a higher default resolution and can go much higher resolution than the PlayStation ever could. So this was like a 240p game, I think, on the PlayStation, and the Saturn couldn't go that low. So in translating everything over, some things don't quite match up just right. And when we get to a save house, like a save file place where I can save the game, you'll see what I'm talking about. But if you play an emulator, like the very first slowdown doesn't happen there, it kind of skips it. Oops. So of course you're playing as Maria, you have the full moveset. You cannot gain levels. There is something down here. More hearts! Okay, so I remember Cuba Zoe was over here originally. Which would basically allow like items to be picked up, like axes and so forth. And that seems to be missing. I don't know where it's supposed to be at. I asked Easy Games about it, he never answered me. I'm like, can you get the Cuba Zoe in this game, like with Maria, so you can actually get axes and stuff? Because I remember that being a thing. I don't know if they possibly moved it to a different location. So here's where you're going to see your first instance of where going from triangles to squares don't quite match up, and that's in the shape of this cross. On the PlayStation, the cross is normal shaped. Everything looks great. You look at it on the Sega Saturn, things don't quite don't line up quite right. Yeah, that's not quite right what it's supposed to be. So you do have sometimes slow down. Don't have full transparencies. You have meshes, which transparencies were possible on the Saturn, but it was basically up to the developers whether or not they wanted to take the time to program them in. A lot of them just kind of ignored it, sadly. Because when someone ever tells me, like, you can't, like, Saturn can't do transparencies, I put in Mega Man X4, which is kind of weird because the first spotlight in the background of that game is all a huge mesh. It looks terrible. And you start running into the first tunnel you run across, and it's transparent. So it's like, it could do transparencies, but it was up to the programmers to take advantage of it, and a lot of them just didn't feel like taking the time, because the Saturn had 2 processors, which made it a little bit hard to program for games. You know what the crazy thing is about that? Nintendo issued a DMCA takedown notice for the people who made the Mario port onto C64. That's how petty Nintendo is. Takedown for Super Mario Brothers on the C64. Yeah, they did. It was issued a takedown notice, and it was taken down, but of course, once you put something on the internet, it's there forever, so people are just like, well, that's fine, it's already backed up, we're good. Yeah, it's like you can Google search it and still find it, but I mean, like the original site where it was hosted, Nintendo issued a DMCA takedown, so... It's Nintendo. They don't make sense. They don't understand gamers. They don't understand how things work anymore. Everything is new and frightening to them. Well, it could quote-unquote run the game, as in, like, scrolling slowly. So, I remember the C64 being like the MSX computer that was released in Japan, which is what the original Metal Gear came out on. And that it couldn't do smooth screen scrolling, so like you'd run and then like it would try to like start shifting or chunking over trying to refresh the screen. Then there was like a smoother version which actually would run pretty well. Trying to jump kick him. Burn. Yeah, the C60, like the 2600 version, actually runs smoother. But I don't think Nintendo took down the 2600 version, but they did take down the C64 version. You get nothing! Absolutely nothing! I like when people like demake games like that. Like, for example, if I actually had like some programming knowledge, I would love to be able to demake Mega Man X4 for the Super Nintendo. So, I mean, everything pretty much exists in assets. Like, actually it was like 2 bosses. No, I'm thinking Mega Man 8, but yeah, you could demake Mega Man 8 for Super Nintendo. You could also possibly do it with Mega Man X4, but unfortunately I do not have programming skills for assembly in order to do that, because that'd be something cool to see. You would have to take assets from multiple games, though. Yay, I'm back where I started. the slowdown. I don't know if I have an item crash or not. I don't think I do. Nope, no item crash. So it's kind of like the crazy thing, like with Mega Man 8. A lot of those assets were actually ported over to the Super Nintendo to make Rock Band and Forte, which was a game that did not come out here in the United States until like 2000. Gosh, was it 2003, 2004 for the Game Boy Advance, which was terrible. But a lot of those assets, even like 3 of the bosses, were carried over from Mega Man 8, which was a Saturn and PlayStation game. No, give me back my Bible. Speaking of Symphony of the Night, if you haven't played Bloodstained yet, you really should. Just don't play it on the Switch, it's garbage. Yeah, like, Bloodstained is basically Symphony of the Night in everything but name. It is literally like a Castlevania game. Okay then. Keep in mind, I don't remember where I'm supposed to be going. I think on my first save file I had gotten to the inverted castle, but it's been a while. Warlock's room. And for those of you maybe wondering if you haven't played Bloodstained yet, there is a vampire. There's also a library. I mean, the game literally copies Symphony of the Night. Which, you know, considering the creator, it's not surprising. The same guy. That's what we call the Get Wrecked spell. Oh, I'm probably get wrecked here. Can't remember if they did the soundtrack. I don't think they did. Oh, won't let me sit. It's Alucard you can sit. Maybe you can sit over in this chair? Now it looks like they took it out for Maria. You can't do it. Can't sit in the confessional. I don't think I caught it in time. Nope. Mostly escaped my fiery wrath. And the slowdown returns. Yeah, Maria's a little bit overpowered, just by a little bit. Providing you know the correct spell. I have no idea. You probably are, though. If I ever see Rum Scout again, I'll have to ask him. I mean, this guy can literally play this game blindfolded, and has beaten it blindfolded before. Easy Games might know as well. He has tasked this game, I think, several times now. Rum Scout? I think he probably tasked it. I think this is a save room. Nope. I know there's a save room around here somewhere. Or not. There we go. Let's go fight Dracula. Let's go upstairs first. Give me back that Bible. I can't believe Amari at the end of the game. Die, Dracula! Oh, wait, you don't have to fight him as Maria. You just have to fight the final form. Inverted Castle, go! Alright, that bottle of whiskey's finished. I remember back in the day, people were like, "Oh my gosh, did you hear? There's there's more to the castle. It's like it's all upside down." It's like, yeah, that's how you get the real ending of the game. Precious heart. But with that, we've reached the end of the stream for now. It's a short stream today. I've been doing about 2.5, 3 hours. But I am a little bit worn down under the weather, the humidity and stuff, with especially my hands are actually like seizing up, which is why I had to stop playing. Because I would like to keep going, keep streaming, but probably not going to happen. So hopefully stream tomorrow, maybe. Probably do a Bayonetta 2 speedrun. We'll have to see. So that seems to be the alternating thing I do. After that, probably do some arcade games. I haven't done an arcade stream in a while, so that should be fun to attempt and try out. And of course, want to give the shout out to the stream to Nimix for showing up there. King Relic, Ronnie showed up. I know the Morgue, and of course anybody else who may have been lurking. You guys are all awesome. So I do stream at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're not sure when that is, just type that into Google and it will tell you for wherever you are in the world. If you're not following me here, that's perfectly fine, but you want to find out when I'm streaming next or if I need to cancel, check me out on Twitter at Wurzel555. Usually post up around 2 or 3 hours in advance when I'm going to be streaming, or if I need to cancel a stream for whatever reason. Like if I say I'm going to stream here now and have to cancel, it'll be put up on my Twitter with what's going on and when to expect the next stream. So, I think Yellow Killer Bee is still streaming. Let's take a look. She is. I think her husband is playing GBM. Yep. So we'll do a little raid on that. So thank you so much for hanging out, and see you guys next time.